Hello everyone, I'm Dead Knight and this is In It to Win It. We are here with a special session of Alterac Valley Season 94 Wild. I just hit Legend with this exact same deck that I hit last season, which was with Agro Druid. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and tell me what you think of the channel and get updates on the upcoming videos. But today we're going to go into a couple of replays with this deck because it is the exact same list with no edits as last season, and going over the exact same thing over and over again is not quite as fun for you as it would be to just see the deck in action for yourself. So we're going to go over a couple of replays that I had at Legend this season and just talk about what we're seeing, what we're doing, how the deck works. Sometimes it's just really straightforward. Sometimes there's some 50-50 plays that you make the call, and I'll explain why I made the call in those cases. So let's watch some games and let's talk about what happened. So the first matchup here, we're playing against a rogue. So we're in top 500 Wild Legend right now. Obviously I draw patches in the opening hand, but we still get to mulligan. So we're going for full out aggressive. We want to ditch the Warlord here, or the Weblord, and see if we can pull maybe a Trogg or a Rig Carpenter or a Drek'Thar, because we have Bloodsail Corsair, so we know we're going to get patches back. Maybe we can get a Parachute Brigand as well. End up with a Mark of the Lotus and a Southsea Deckhand, which is nice, and we top deck another Mark of the Lotus. So what we really want now is minions on the board so that we can buff them with the buff cards we have. So we're saving Bloodsail Corsair because we're against rogues, so we're looking at weapons. And now he is going to coin out a hero power to try to start chipping away at my board. So he knows that this is Agro Druid. He knows that I can build a big, wide buffed board, so he goes after it. This is a no-brainer play here. We have the Bloodsail Corsair. That's why we saved it. Get rid of the weapon, buff the minions, and go face. This hand is not great. We don't have really any way to get back in the game if we lose control with this hand. But we're going for it anyway. Blackwater Cutlass, playing it out, so he's really understanding the importance of board control here. So interesting to see what deck he's running. Bloodsail Flybooter comes out, so we could be looking at Caverns Rogue here. And again, no help from the way of minions. Playing Embiggen. Now our options here are either hero power his minion and push, or just empty our hand and fill the board and get rid of the minion. So you got to get rid of Bloodsail Flybooter against Quest Rogue, because that's a bunch of 5/5s as a threat coming through. And now he finally gets to play the quest. So most people are going to want to play quests on turn 1. He could not play it until turn 3 because he was working on trying to get the board back. And here comes Animated Broomstick, which is a wasted animated broomstick to get rid of this Panther. So the amount of pressure that he is under in order to do this is pretty big for us. That's the key to this deck. Even though we are out of cards, we are playing from the top, we have put so much pressure on him that he cannot use the 6 cards in his hand the way that he wants to. So that's the power of this deck. Even though it looks like we are going to lose this game because we are drawing dry and he has so many cards, he's got to deal with the pressure. So now here come the Sky Pirates and a Daring Escape. So hopefully he thinks he can complete the quest before he dies. So we're going to use that information, assume that he has a preparation for the quest, and we're going to do as much as we can to fight him here. So hero power, remove the minion. No minions can be left alive against Quest Rogue. And we will buff the board and go face. The reason we did that is now he has to deal with these 2 minions, both of them, or he's going to lose. The only thing he can do here is play more pirates, prep caverns, and then play a target dummy is his only hope. And he doesn't have it, so out he goes. So now this looks like, you could look at this replay and say, wow, Druid, you got really lucky. You were just drawing off the top and hoping that your cards are good. But really, the cards that I drew were not that great. I could have drawn Arbor Up. I could have drawn Drek'Thar. I could have drawn a whole bunch of different things that would have put me back in a strong position. But instead, we drew, I mean, that Embiggen was pretty much no help. But getting those that early pressure threw the rogue off the rogue's game plan. And that's the strength of this deck. So now let's look at mage. This guy's name is Ignite Enjoyer. So we're probably playing Ignite Mage here. And we have Irondeep Trogg in the opening hand, which is probably the best thing you can have against Ignite Mage. I'm just going to keep this hand straight up. Trogg is dominant on opening play. We have a pirate to trigger patches, and then we have buff to keep the Trogg alive so that he can't kill the Trogg with First Flame. So First Flame is not a card you want to keep in a mulligan as mage typically, especially with as prominent as Guff Druid is. So he can't keep First Flame here in case it's Guff, because he'll lose. Now we have Trogg on the board that's stuck to the board. So we're going to play Rig Carpenter here to draw a card and bring patches into play. Early game, Mage doesn't have any board-wide removal here, so he's just going to hero power the Carpenter and move on. Now I have a really strong play here of 1-2 trees and Power of the Wild. So now we have a wide board. We buffed the Trogg out of range of First Flame. So now the only thing he has that can kill the Trogg is Impatient Shopkeeper and Brain Freeze. But you have to combo Brain Freeze, so that would make another Trogg. And he's going to just roll out an Impatient Shopkeeper. So that's terrible for him. So that's a tradable he doesn't get to play. That is anything that's not happening toward his game plan. So now we have more trees, more pirates, so a really wide board. We get to just hero power this thing and just keep pressing face. Now I have Arbor Up, which I think is actually going to be lethal for me here. So he has got to deal with this board or play Ice Block. And he has not been able to play Incanter's Flow. Look how many cards are in his hand. He's got 8 cards in his hand. So he's got to play Incanter's Flow, but if he plays Incanter's Flow, he loses. So he has to play Ice Block here or he loses. So let's see what he comes up with. Makes you wonder if he's really enjoying Ignite right now, because the amount of pressure this deck is putting out is keeping him from executing. So there's the First Flame. So he gets rid of 3 minions off the board. So now I have 4 damage showing. So he didn't play Ice Block, he's gonna live, but Arbor Up is just crushing here. So, ooh, Weblord though. So if I play Weblord, then, well, he can still play Inconspicuous Rider if I play Weblord. So we're just gonna Arbor Up and smash the face. And now we're threatening lethal. And same position again. Gotta either Ice Block or somehow remove the whole board. And Inconspicuous Rider comes out. So there's the Ice Block. Gonna do some more trading. So the key here is you have to trigger Ice Block. Ideally, you trigger Ice Block while also pulling minions off of his board. So I'm actually going to get rid of a tree here, which frees up more space in case he has some sort of board-wise freeze. So we got Ice Block triggered. He's at 1, which means that even if he gets rid of my board, he needs another way to get rid of, to save himself, because I have hero power. And we have the Weblord just in case. That means he can't play another Inconspicuous Rider and Incanter's Flow. So now, again, same position. You got to either Ice Block or kill me. At 6 mana, there's a chance you can kill me, but without having played Incanter's Flow or Mana Biscuit or anything to help his game plan, he hasn't had any of those setup turns because he's had to deal with my board. Star Scryer. Okay, now he just loses. I don't think there's any card he could pull from Star Scryer that would help him, so we're just seeing what we got and scoop. So one way to look at this is to say, oh, well, he didn't have turn 1 First Flame, so Trogg just ran nuts. But why would he have turn 1 First Flame? You're not going to keep First Flame in a mulligan against Druid right now because Guff Cthulhu Druid is the most popular Druid build. And even if he had Incanter's Flow, which look at how many cards he had in his hand, maybe he did. He just can't play it there. If you waste a turn to play Incanter's Flow, he would have died. So that's where the strength of this deck comes in, is pressure. Pressure, pressure, pressure at all times. The only exception is you don't want to run pressure into a Defile, or if Shaman has played Ice Fishing already, then you want to be smart about when you drop your minions, you want to save a little bit to try to make a comeback after they clear your board. But that's the deck. You can see just how much damage is coming out so early. These are really fast games, and I think I only lost 3 games from rank 5 0 stars to legend. I was experimenting with some other decks just to see how they go, and this deck is just the Metabreaker right now. It's huge. Loving this deck. I hope it works out for you as well as it did for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think of these videos, and tune in next time.